Sam Ansel presents The Hook. I used to believe that life was about achieving things, building a family, a career, a future. But no one tells you that what you build also needs to be nourished, tended to, or else it quietly collapses when you're not looking. My name is Michael Landon. I'm 55 years old. And not too long ago, I lost everything that once gave my life meaning. My wife, Diane, left me after 30 years of marriage. I didn't fight her. I just stood there blank as she packed her suitcase. "You don't even seem sad," she said at the door. "Like this is a relief." I opened my mouth to speak, but nothing came out. The truth was, I didn't know how to feel anything anymore. I had become cold, quiet, a faded version of the man she married. But I wasn't always that way. I used to dance with her in the kitchen. I used to write her little notes and tuck them into her books. But over time, I stopped showing up. Stopped nurturing the life we built. Then I lost my job. I was a master technician in an aerospace firm. Loved my work, precision, challenge, elegance. When the layoffs came, I thought my seniority would save me. It didn't. "You're a great worker, Mike," my manager said, avoiding eye contact. "But we're cutting the entire division." Suddenly, I was nothing. I ended up doing odd jobs just to stay afloat, installing gutters, hauling bricks, cleaning sheds. I felt humiliated. Not by the work itself, but by the fall. The people I worked for used to be my clients. Now they handed me $20 bills and a bottle of water like I was some drifting laborer. My kids, Emily and Jake, born in 1988 and 1991. They stopped calling. They used to be my world: Sunday morning pancakes, Disney marathons, summer trips to Cape Cod. Now they were strangers living in cities I never visited. The silence between us grew so long I stopped believing I'd ever hear their voices again. With nothing left in the city but shadows of a life I no longer recognized, I packed my things and moved. I chose Cedar Glen, a small town where my parents had bought a vacation home in the 70s. We never used it much. My mom hated the bugs. My dad said the quiet was too loud. But the house still stood, a wooden cabin hugged by trees, its paint fading, its porch crooked like a tired smile. I moved in. Alone. At first, I thought the silence might heal me. It didn't. It only made me realize how loud my regrets were. I spent most days on the porch, drinking cheap coffee, watching squirrels chase each other across the yard. I barely spoke. I barely moved. I became a ghost with a heartbeat. Then one day, I don't even know why, I decided to walk. Just kept going, down a trail behind the house, past trees I couldn't name and birds I couldn't identify. The path narrowed. Then I heard it, the sound of water. Rushing, alive. I followed the sound until I found it, a waterfall, tall and wild, cascading into a crystal-clear basin below. I just stood there, stunned. It was magnificent. Like the world had hidden this beauty from me until I was broken enough to deserve it. I took off my shirt and stepped into the water. It was freezing, but I didn't care. I dove in, and for the first time in years, I felt something: joy, pain, clarity. Then I saw it. A fish. Enormous. Must have been 3 feet long. Dark, sleek, powerful, but it didn't move much. It just hovered beneath a ledge, its body stiff, its eyes half-lidded. I swam closer, curious. That's when I saw the hook. A rusty fishing hook pierced the corner of its mouth, the line long gone. It had festered, the skin swollen around the metal. I surfaced, heart pounding. That fish, it was in pain. And yet, it had survived. It had adapted to its injury. Found a cave and stayed there. I came back the next day. And the next. I brought goggles and swam beside it. I'd talk to it, like a man. "Hey, big guy," I'd say. "You still hanging in there?" Eventually, I brought pliers. I swam down, slowly, gently. The fish didn't run. It just watched me. And with shaking hands, I grabbed the hook and twisted. It resisted. But finally it gave. The metal came loose. The fish bolted into the depths, leaving a swirl of bubbles. I cried. Because I realized I had a hook too. Not in my mouth, but in my soul. An invisible wound that kept me from reaching out to my kids. From forgiving myself. From loving. The next morning, I called them. Hey, Emily. It's Dad. I was wondering if maybe you and Jake could come visit. Just for a couple days. I know it's been a while. But I'd really love to see you. There was silence on the other end. Then a sigh. I'll talk to Jake, she said. They arrived 5 days later. Emily was wearing hiking boots and a guarded expression. Jake was quiet, his eyes scanning the porch like it was a crime scene. I had cleaned everything. Chopped firewood. Made stew with garden vegetables. Even found Diane's old recipe book and baked her rosemary focaccia. They weren't impressed. This place is rustic, Jake said. Looks like a horror movie waiting to happen, Emily added. But I didn't react. I just smiled. You're here. That's all I care about. The first day was hard. They stayed on their phones. Didn't join me for dinner. I felt like a stranger in my own family. But I kept going. I made them breakfast. Told them stories from their childhood. Took them to the waterfall. When we reached the basin, I pointed. I met a friend here, I said. Emily squinted. A fish? Yeah. Big guy. Had a hook stuck in him for God knows how long. I pulled it out. She looked at me, something softening in her eyes. It's like it was trapped, she said quietly. And it didn't even know how to ask for help. Jake said, sometimes you get hooked so early, you forget you're in pain. You just hide. I looked at them both. I think that's what happened to me. I forgot I was hurt. I forgot I was even alive. That night, I lit a fire and made chili. Emily helped chop the onions. Jake built the firewood teepee like I taught him when he was 8. We sat in silence. Then Emily spoke. I was angry at you, Dad. For not fighting for us. For being gone even when you were home. Jake nodded. I felt invisible. I felt ashamed, I said. Ashamed of failing. Of losing Mom. Of not knowing how to reach you both. But I want to fix it. If you'll let me. There were tears. There were long pauses. But they didn't leave. 3 months later, we bought a piece of land together. Started planting. Tomatoes, kale, beans, herbs. We called it Land and Light Organics. It wasn't just a farm. It was a second chance. People from town started joining us. A widow named Carol who baked the best apple pies. A teenager named Troy who wanted to learn about soil. A retired teacher who missed working with kids. We built something, together. Not perfect. But real. Diane came to visit one autumn weekend. She stood on the porch, looking out over the garden. You look alive, she said. I pulled out the hook, I replied. She smiled. Took you long enough. We're not remarried. Not yet. But we talk. Laugh. Sometimes cry. Our kids live here now. Emily teaches painting in a barn we converted into a studio. Jake manages our community compost project. And me? I swim in the river every morning. I still see the fish sometimes. It's bigger now. Stronger. Free. Just like us. Sometimes, the things that hurt us the most also wake us up. Sometimes, healing starts with something small. A walk. A dive. A fish with a hook. And sometimes, if you're brave enough to pull out your own, you get your life back. If this story made you feel happy, or even brought a tear to your eye, maybe you should consider listening to the most healing story I've ever lived. A story that helped me understand my life as a whole. To the point where I began writing stories to uplift the human spirit, and turned it into work that benefits others. And it all began with a simple inspiration. The idea that drinking water could be sacred, that this ordinary act could heal the mind and the soul, could bring abundance to everything and everyone around me. We all drink water. The difference is, I started drinking it with intention. I started believing the water could heal me. And from that belief, I created something. A simple way to turn something ordinary into transformation. That's how I built a method. A method that doesn't just change how you feel inside, but lets you see the change happening outside. From day one, you'll grow a plant using the same water we all drink, just charged with intention. And every single day, that plant will reflect the shift taking place within you. And during each of the 21 days of the method, we'll explore a new way to understand water and meditate healing through it. That's what I'm offering. That's what's waiting in the method, for those who are ready. You'll find it in the first link in the description. Or maybe not yet, because the link will only appear once this channel reaches the number of subscribers needed to activate it, so that our egregore becomes even stronger. But if the link is already there, maybe that's your sign. The universe telling you, you're ready. Not next year. Not someday. You're ready now.